Hi, greetings folks, it's Willie. I know it's been a while. Just wanted to give you an update on the hiker trailer. It was too stinking hot this summer to go anywhere, and I have been sick for the past 4 weeks with COVID. Enough said. Alright, so what's different, you ask? Well, I'll put a picture somewhere in here showing you how I had this set up before, and I'll even copy some video if I can of the idea of how I did mine and why I made the changes. The reason for the changes is when I had all the switches down here in this area, it was really cool and looked really nice. But the problem is, in the wintertime, because I like the fall, winter, snow camp, and spring camp, and if you're in inclement weather, to turn everything on, you had to get out here, open the back door, and turn all the switches you wanted on, or whatever, stuff like that. And I found myself having to do that, where I thought, well, why couldn't I just reach through here and do that? So this late summer, when it finally cooled down a little bit, I made some changes. So I've eliminated all that, and I bought a Mictuning 12-panel switch setup, installed everything behind this here. I know it's dark, but we'll turn the lights on here in a little bit. And I've lost a total of 4 inches. And I've gained all that space down below back. In fact, that's big enough for a Bouge RV, like whatever 20 or 26 quart mini refrigerator. So I'm thinking about that. But anyway, the remote switch for the Victron battery protect, it was cool, but I didn't really need it because I switched to a lithium battery that has a built-in battery management system in it. So I don't have to worry about low voltage. I don't have to worry about freezing. I don't have to worry about overheating. But I mean, you have to protect them. I mean, I have to take it out in the summer, and if it's going to be, you know, consistently below, I think -4 Fahrenheit is where this thing shuts off, then you need to take it out, not take it with you. It doesn't need to freeze. It's not good for it. But you just can't charge anything under 32 degrees Fahrenheit for lithium-wise. But anyway, I did keep the battery shunt and the remote switch for the Renogy 800 pure sine wave inverter I removed also. Because after I installed it and I did all the initial testing and stuff on that, I've never used it. I mean, I have it, I installed it so I can charge batteries that don't have some type of 12-volt charging system. But the reality is it's been in there for, what, since 2019, so we're going on 4 years. I did initial testing with it, excuse me, all that good stuff, and I check it, it works, but I don't charge anything with it. So for all you out there that want to do, are thinking about pure sine wave inverter, stuff like that, go for it. But like I say, I've had mine for 4 years and I haven't used it except for when I installed it and tested it. It is cool. But I did keep the Renogy shunt so I can keep track of the percentage of battery and how it's charging, all that kind of stuff. I have 4 USBs back here, and I have 2 USBs inside that I powered up, you know, a long time ago when I was still running an AGM battery that came with the hiker. I had an 8-switch marine panel on the back here. I have kept the same 8 switches, but of course I have 4 spares now. So I still have power for the fan, the internal lights, all the USBs on the same circuit. Also power for the air compressor, the water pump, which I just removed because I don't want to freeze while snow camping, and the accumulator. And then I still have the 2 sets of lights back here. I have the white LEDs, and then I have an RGB set that I've set the red for bug control and also for night vision. I still have shore power, and I still have the original, you can see it back in there, the Genius battery charger maintainer that came with the hiker. I did run water lines to both sides of my hiker, and so I can put the shower unit on each side and put some unistrut on. Didn't like drilling holes, but it's a necessary evil when it's done. So when it gets dark, I'm going to back and film some more, and I'll show you how the lights and stuff work and what this thing looks like. The other thing is too, is this is dimmable. With the 8-gang lights, they were lit, but I had to cover them with a rag or a piece of leftover curtain to minimize the amount of light coming in, because I like it dark. The inside of my hiker is totally blacked out. The window on the front, the windows on the doors are coated, and then I've made curtains that are 2 layers of 90% blackout. So it's nice and dark in here. And I even have a blackout screen for the fan. So it gets nice and dark in here. And then no other changes inside or external stuff like that. It's still all the same. But like I say, I'll come back in a little when it's dark here, and we'll film some more stuff, and I'll show you how the lights work. Oh, and this has rock lights too. So the 4 switches are air compressor, water pump, rock lights, interior lights, fan lights, USB lights, and then the 2 sets of lights back here, and I think that's all 6. And like I say, I've got 4 spare, so if I ever decide or add or upgrade. And what I did for this was I made that panel, everything's removable by hand, no special tools. The problem with the other setup I had, to take the battery out, took a good 15-20 minutes just to get all everything apart, and then reach in there and disconnect everything to power down the inverter, and also to power down everything else. And then all that stuff was just a big collector for dust and all that jazz back there. So I'm super pleased with this. It's clean and neat. So the unit sits behind there. I did mount it with some spacing, and I did leave a gap on the end side and the top, because I don't know if that makes heat or not while it's in use, stuff like that. And I figured I want some type of ventilation, so it'll be fine. But I'll be back when it's dark. Alright, it's dark. I know you can hear my voice, but I'm trying to make this as easy as I can. I told you I'd be back. So what I did was, this one has just a straight power on button, which is kind of cool. And you can see air, cargo, amber, rock lights, interior outlets. So I know that's kind of bright for you. So what I did was, I have 2 sets of LEDs back here, and they are the stuff, I think I got them from Walmart. They're attached with a 3M double-sided tape, and they've been on there for close to 4 years. So, and I'm in Arizona, so if tape's going to fail, this is the place to do it. The other thing I did is I marked that amber because I went with the red for night vision and also for controlling, bug. And then this also has the RGB rock lights. So that was mainly done for safety for my youngest, so that he doesn't, at night or something like that, doesn't walk into something that could be painful. And I also have the same setup, similar setup, I guess, on the tow vehicle, on my Tacoma. It runs off an app on my phone, and it's RGB and does all that kind of stuff too. So that's the difference. If you look at this now, you can see it. Now, like I said, I did leave a gap here, and I did leave a gap at the top, just for that sole reason of ventilation. And then all the USBs inside and outside are on a USB switch here, so you can see they'll light up here. And when I power it down, it'll shut off. So again, I can touch the side of the trailer. So like I say, I lost 4 inches on this side, but I still maintained all the space. I really don't put much up in this area. I keep it open. I do have a piece of thin gauge steel on here, because sometimes I said I have a Cupid 9000 BTU little isobutane heater that I sometimes set on there to knock the chill off in the morning when I snow camp. Not to heat the camp or anything like that, just to take the chill off, so it makes it nice to get out in the morning, stuff like that while I'm awake. And then I also do have, in the cabin, there is a smoke and carbon monoxide detector inside the sleeping quarters here. But winter camping, like I say, I do carry heat with me. I got a down blanket last year for Christmas, and it seems to do a perfect job. Sometimes I just throw a fleece on top of that, and I have slept out here in down into the high 20s and low 30s with that. And then when I go up in the high country and snow camp, I always carry sleeping bags with me, especially if I have the kids with me. We'll carry a 20-degree bag minimum, and then also a bunch of extra blankets, and just pile it on and do fine. I mean, we snow camped 1 year and left and went clear up the south rim of the Grand Canyon, and I forgot the sleeping bags, but I had all these blankets in here, so did fine just with blankets. And I think it was down in the teens at night. Excuse me, I'm still, like I say, I had COVID battle for 4 weeks going on, but the coldest I've camped with this so far is, I think, 7 degrees. And still above 0. I have not camped, I can't think of any time where it's been in a negative, but like I say, down to single digits, which I think is, that's fun enough. But again, that's kind of my setup here. I hope, and I think you can change the colors of this. And then also, it'll dim down. I wish it would, you could leave it on and turn it off, but that's not a feature it has. So that's kind of be the setup. And then you can also power this down, and it'll memorize. You can power it down, it'll remember where you left it at. So for all you other hiker owners there, I think this is a kind of a cool setup, got a lot of, gained some space back in the bottom here. I'll put a picture up, like I say, what I had before, and I'll show the video from where I got the idea from. And like I say, a lot of stuff, my biggest thing is just, if you don't like it, don't be afraid to change it. So like I said, I just didn't like having to come outside to have to turn everything on and off. This way I can do it from inside the hiker or from outside the hiker. And I had cigarette lighter plugs and a voltage meter and all that kind of stuff. I never looked at it, never used it. Most I ever use is USB plugs to charge tablets, cell phones, an iPod, and a Bluetooth speaker for music. So, and that covers it for me. Don't have a whole lot else to say. You can reach me on Facebook. It's under William Peters. I'm also part of the Hikers Owners group too, and stuff like that. You can find me there. Hope you're having a good week, and happy Thanksgiving. I'll talk to you soon.
Power comes through the solar controller down into the battery bank, which is housed behind this electrical box. This box also houses the 2000 watt continuous sine wave inverter, 3000 watt peak, the VMAX solar tank 20 amp charger, fuses, and a kill switch for the master power for the entire trailer. The battery bank consists of two 6-volt, 225 amp hour VMAX solar tank charge banks. These batteries are wired at 12 volts and are designed to withstand the constant charge, discharge, and solar pass-through for solar batteries.